Hello, welcome to Bourbon and a Baby. My name is Jay. Max is not going to be joining us today because it's past his bedtime and he's a little too young to be drinking bourbon. This is kind of a special review today because I am bringing you not only one but two Old Fitzgeralds. They're the Decanter versions. So first I have the Spring 2020 release of the 9-year-old. And then I have the Fall 2019 version of Old Fitzgerald, and it's their 15-year-old release. So here in my neck of the woods in Tiffin, Ohio, it's not every day you come across an Old Fitzgerald Decanter. Not something that you generally see in the store, but I happen to be lucky enough to be here at the Renaissance of Tiffin, this beautiful 1920s themed bourbon bar right downtown. It's an amazing place to stop in and have a pour. So if you're ever in the area, please stop by, and thank you to them for allowing me the opportunity to review these two fantastic bourbons here at the Renaissance. Okay, so let's give these a pour. First I'm going to pour the 9-year. And this cork, there we go, really in there. These bottles you have to love, they're so beautiful. And so these are both bottled in bond, so they're both going to be 100 proof. And again, something that's released twice a year by Heaven Hill, and they are different ages each release. Just depends on what they have in stock. And then also they're going to vary from batch to batch. They're small batches, so you know, they might not necessarily, even if you find one that is a similar year but from a different release, it might be a little bit different. Alright, so I'm going to start with the nose on the 9-year. Let's see what we get here. It smells very light. It's a little floral. There's that faint, light smell of oak. Not overpowering, but it's there. There's a light, also vanilla, and then also there's kind of like a ginger spice almost, kind of underlying all of that. So it's kind of a weird kind of this mixture. Everything is like super light. Nothing really kind of stands out and punches you here, but just kind of this different medley of aromas that you know is quite interesting. Yeah, just light floral, a little bit of ginger spice, a little bit of vanilla is what's really coming through here. Now, these are both wheated bourbons from Heaven Hill. So yeah, let's go ahead and give the 9-year a sip. Cheers. Oh wow. Now this packs more of a punch on the palate than it does on the nose. Right up front, really get that oak flavor. Kind of dries out your tongue a little bit. You definitely get that spiciness that comes through, kind of like if you get like a really spicy, like I mentioned ginger on the nose, and if you stay with that same thing, but like a kind of a real spicy ginger beer, kind of that's coming through on the palate. Even a little bit of black pepper, and then it just kind of gives a really nice warm hug, nice warm Kentucky hug going down. The proof point at 100 proof, you know, obviously it's a bottle in bond, so it has to be, but it seems kind of like the perfect spot for this. Yeah, I can't wait to try it again. There's the vanilla now. I didn't get it so much on the first sip, but the vanilla really came through on the second sip. Still strong with that oak. That still kind of has this drying effect on your tongue. But yeah, it really kind of hits you up front at first, and then just kind of mellows as it goes down. I like this. This is really good. Now, Old Fitzgerald, again, it's a special release. It's in a beautiful decanter bottle. These aren't cheap. I don't know the exact price point, but typically they run around, in the past have run around $10 per year. So if that held true for these two releases, this one would have been $90 and then this one would have been $150. Again, that's typically what they have done in the past, but I didn't personally purchase these bottles, so I don't know exactly what they were going for here. So let's try the 15 year. Let's check the nose on that. This too is really just light, real light, nothing really punching through on its own. I get more caramel on this than the 9-year had more of the vanilla. This has more caramel. It's surprisingly, for being 6 years older, I don't smell a whole lot of oakiness. It's there, just not super heavy. And where this one was more floral, this one's actually coming across a little bit more fruity, a little more fruit forward. Kind of this generic ripe fruit smell. All right, let's take this to the palate. Cheers. Now this one takes you on more of a ride than the 9-year did. So I didn't get that kind of heavy ginger spice kick right off the bat that I got with the 9-year, but I definitely got a lot of oak. So where that didn't come through on the nose, that definitely came through on the palate. And it is a little bit dry, but not as dry as the 9-year. And it just really kind of, I have to take another sip because it really kind of starts here, takes you here, and then kind of goes down here. It's kind of an interesting ride. Yeah, it starts off with this really, really sweet note that I can't quite place. Kind of like, I think that's kind of what the fruitiness I was getting on the nose. It's kind of this sweet fruit on the palate, and then it kind of ramps up, and you really hit that oak as it kind of dries out your tongue a little bit, and then like kind of the smooth caramel finish, like kind of this creamy caramel finish as it rounds out. You know, I tried both of these once before, kind of back to back. Just a real quick small sample when these bottles first got here, and on that day in particular I liked the 9-year better, but now I'm really gravitating towards this 15-year. So I'm gonna try them back to back here again, just to kind of see, just to kind of make sure that that's where I'm at here. So let's see, this hand 9-year, 15 year. I have to say, I think I like the nose on the 9 year a tad better, but they're not that far off. There's a little bit of funkiness that I get on this sip of the 9 year now that I didn't get before. Could be the back and forth causing that. Could be that it's opened up a little bit more. But still, kind of really good, interesting sip. It's like, almost like I had two different experiences trying these. Because this time the 15 year, I did get a little bit more of that spiciness on this sip here. But not nearly as much as I got originally from this. So, you know, if it came down to me recommending one over the other, I think you're splitting hairs here. Even though this is 6 years older, I think it does kind of round out a little bit better, and you definitely, I think, taste a little bit more of that oakiness on the 15 year. But this 9 year, it's really good as well. And you know, if you could only pick one, you'd be perfectly happy with it. I do think I like the 15 year just a hair more, but man, they're both fantastic. Both really good to sip on and enjoy. I think, you know, I'm drinking them neat here, but I feel like they would hold up well with an ice cube as well. I haven't tried that out, but I feel like there's enough there to, if you were to put it on ice, that it would come through and still be a really good sipper. So yeah, definitely, if you find this on the shelf at retail, even though, again, you're looking at $90 to $150, which for me, that's, you know, not something that I spend on bourbon often, if at all. So, but if you're able to find this on the shelf at retail, it would be hard to pass up. It's special, it's good, it looks great on your bar, all that. It definitely would impress your friends. You know, should you find it on the secondary and pay whatever the going rate for that is, that's hard to debate. You know, everybody has a different price point they're willing to pay for things. But I do think it's good. It's definitely a recommend for me. If you're able to come across it in a bar, I would definitely try a pour that way, if that's the only way you're able to try it. If you come to the Renaissance of Tiffin, there's this much and this much left. So if you want the 15 year, you better hurry in. But yeah, definitely these are great. Both great bourbons. Slightly like the 15 year better, but that doesn't say anything bad about the 9. They're both great. So on that note, thanks a lot for watching. Thanks a lot to the Renaissance of Tiffin for allowing me to be here and for allowing me to do this. If you wouldn't mind giving this video a thumbs up if you thought it was helpful, I would appreciate that. You can also subscribe to the channel. I would greatly appreciate that as well. It helps us out a lot. And you can find Max and myself on all the social medias. We're at Bourbon and a Baby. And last but not least, you can buy Bourbon and a Baby merchandise at our shop on Spreadshirt. I'll put that link in the description below. Cheers.